That is what this video is also bringing out. If we're able to recognize the things that trigger this provocative attitude that makes us hate each other or can't stand each other, that one has to decide to go and buy sperm to have a child, or a man has to go and then donate a sperm in order to have a woman's womb to bring that child. It means like Michael Jackson doing what Michael Jackson was doing. It's like you don't want to touch a woman, and a woman doesn't want to touch a man, but yet you want to have a child, but he doesn't want the man. It's like you are quarreling with each other, and you cannot stand each other, but yet you want to have the child anyway, because everybody is having that, so you also want to have it. I mean, do you care about that child when that child grew up, how he was brought up? I mean, do you care that there won't be any attachment? I don't know the risk that we are we have not really come to realize that. Even some go to extent of the cloning thing, which is I don't know what we are ending up, but I just hope we think things through. I mean, if we change and we understand things better, that's what I believe. And as I'm going to keep explaining, if people take things seriously and acknowledge the things I point out, add one or two together, freeze their mind, release their mind of all those things that are unnecessary that they keep holding on to, and we start embracing life, embracing our true nature of who we really are. It's not what we are because we are naked. I'm not talking about the story about nakedness. I'm not talking that story about the Quran which says clay or where we come from. Who we really are. You standing there as a person, who you are, recognizing who you are, with clothes or without clothes, whichever you are at that stand, what you really are, not what your culture has fed you with, not what your religion has in tune to become or has fed you with. No, those are the things that are critical, that ruins our life. That's what I'm trying to suggest. It may have some peaceful influence and be presenting some peaceful things, but entirely it ends up revealing to you that of which makes you very violent, very hateful. It shows you your enemy. You don't need to have enemy. That person doesn't need to have enemy. We don't need enemies in our life. But this is what gives us the knowledge of enemy. This is what gives us the knowledge of destruction. This is what gives us the knowledge of protection. This is what gives us the knowledge of selfishness. This is what the knowledge that gives us knowledge of becoming successful. This is what gives us the knowledge of becoming poor, or what we are, that makes us so uncomfortable and hate whatever we are, or sort of reject whatever state that it should be, make us become so unsatisfied with what we are, or what we are, whatever state or whatever situation we may be in. These are the things that tells us that, hey, this is better than this. Why do you stay in this manner? You need this. These are the things that keeps the confusion, and that's what the process for you to gradually realize what you need to realize. And the things that people get caught up with, you will not get caught up with it. The things that entraps people, you will not be trapped into it. That is what I'm trying to say. That is what all this is about. And so let us be very, very careful about what we are teaching, what I'm trying to open up, the points I'm bringing out, so that when we get into the peaceful state, something really solid can be assured in our life. Abraham sleeping with his wife, his maid, is with the issue today. But why should that be the case? But even if he slept, it was okay at that time. God did not sanctify, kill Abraham and say, hey, you are fornicated. If fornication was there, God from the very beginning knew about fornication before he wrote about 10 commandments. So God would have stopped Abraham. But even God blessed, and he's not the only one God blessed. So David and Uriah, according to the genealogy in Matthew 1, chapter 1, Matthew chapter 1, all the way through to the end, to the 18, the genealogy to verse 18, the genealogy that is written there, it tells you that Uriah or whatever that David slept with, that thing that is called in Psalm 32 revealed David being punished for adultery, that person gave birth to Solomon, and that genealogy is where Joseph came from, and they are linking that to the genealogy of Jesus Christ. So you can imagine, God was okay with that. It's claimed in the Bible that God punished you. He punished the girl for David for all these things. But at the end of the day, that is where good things came. Solomon, who built the temple, was from there. So was God really offended? Maybe the people who had issue about adultery, they punished them. But where did the people get those knowledge about adultery from? It's from the same God. They claim that God gave them that issue that is wrong for them to adulterate. So God has given them the knowledge has come from the same book, the writings that they have, and they claim it's God who said that. So that is how the problem that I'm trying to suggest here is that these are some of the things that gives us issues. These are all gives us the problems. If we're able to think it through, you can see that this is the issues we have to do, we face. And the Bible suggests some of them that sleeping with his maid, at the end of the day, is procreation. That is what it matters. Because the reason that you have to procreate, that is it. But the same joy, the same excitement that you have with any other woman took place in the same manner. So lust took place there, and the reason of having the child also came in, because lust comes in, and then through the last, child comes out of it also. They say the two people come together, and as a result, they become one flesh. The one flesh is that child that is born. That child is a living proof of their oneness. The children you have together prove your oneness. It could be that you have 10 wives. All the 10 wives, whatever proof they will get is the children they will have with you, with that same man. If it's the other way with women, or it's the same thing. Whatever bond you have with somebody, that produce what comes out, the child that comes out is some kind of solid proof, or the evidence, or the will, or the documents that shows that you two were together. They test the blood of that child, and they can get you there, they could get her there. Both of you are in that child, one flesh. You don't need a written document, you need a human proof, and that human proof is right there before you with a child. You understand? So that's my explanation of it. So in every sense, if you look at what Abraham did with his, and that's not the only child, the only woman he slept with. Abraham ended up with other, I think, what do you call it also, So let's say he had with his maid, and that's the children he have. And then later, God then comes in. Now, didn't God know that Sarah was going to suggest that? Maybe he knew. I think he knew, because God is all-knowing. So he should know that Abraham was going to listen to his wife's advice to have children. He should know. And maybe, in every sense, according to the Bible, I should believe that he knew. But why would it happen? That is, he will suggest such a thing and end up sleeping with his maid and having children. And why should it be that Abraham will even listen? If Abraham truly have faith in God, why would he listen to his wife? Because Abraham would think that maybe it is God who is speaking through his wife to have a child. I mean, these are questions that you think through and realize that it's all stories that's been made. I mean, it is seen that Abraham has faith, that he's a friend of God, and he even has serious faith. That is why God used him. Today, people present themselves to have even wilder and more serious faith, and God has not shown his face yet. Yet Abraham, with such kind of faith, was walking with God and having great things and doing one thing, waiting. He couldn't wait. We are waiting, you today and are supposed to be waiting for some miracle from God or your faith to show up. How long are you going to wait? Abraham, that we keep claiming he did wait. How long did he wait? He didn't wait. If he was waiting and still having children. He didn't just wait. He went on with his life. If it's not his wife suggesting Hagar, just because of his wife issue, getting angry, so he didn't want to do it. So it's good that the woman suggested it. But if the woman had not suggested, and somehow he decided, he could have decided to with any other person to have. And it happened in the sense of Jacob. Jacob also was trapped. The story says he was trapped into a situation, and he had children with 2 women, and so many children was coming out of it. In the sense of Moses settled with this woman, another woman, and her children, and went on and all that, and all these things is similar to the same thing of adultery, fornication, and all that, which we normally, in the Muslim world, they see it as polygamy. They accepted that because God at that time because of the presentation. The presenting is for it to be okay.